Good day, YouTube. It is the 14th of June, 2023. This is my 2000 Ford Super Duty. It is a 7.3 liter Powerstroke, and I've had this truck for a very long time. It doesn't see many miles every year since I got it. I bought this on eBay as a recovered, stolen truck. It was not wrecked, it was stolen, the insurance paid off, and then it was recovered. And it had some issues when I got it, and after sorting out those issues, it's been a fantastic truck for me for a very long time. It doesn't get a lot of miles. It's got about I think 165,000 on it right now, 23 years old. And usually always has a camper on it, This is a third or fourth camper we've had. We keep changing and finding ones that we like better. For whatever reason, we went bigger. Now we've become smaller so I could tow a trailer. And this one's working pretty good. Heading out in the morning on a road trip for about 12 days. And we'll end up with probably around 11 or 1,200 miles. Taking in a couple of dirt track race series, and I decided to give it a Seafoam treatment before we go, so that this first tank or two of fuel will maybe do some good. I don't really anticipate that I have any issues, but it does sit a lot. It has seen about 1,000 miles in 3 years, and I think a Seafoam treatment will be good for this truck. It be a good to see. I spent about $45 on Seafoam at Walmart just now, and I think we ought to put it in, and after our trip I'll do the rest of this video and tell you if I noticed any difference or not. So let's put the Seafoam in. This might be hard to get the funnel in with my camper tie down, but I'll bet it'll go. Oh yeah. So the directions on the Seafoam says if you're trying to clean fuel injectors and stuff, to run about 2 ounces per gallon. So this is about a 40-gallon tank. So 5 16-ounce bottles should be 80 ounces or 2 ounces per gallon. All right. Rinse and repeat. Okay, last one. So Berryman makes a very similar product, and I think it's a pretty good product. I am a bigger fan of Seafoam, however. The Seafoam's about twice the money as Berryman. So I have cans of each on a shelf. I just went down and got these because I need to leave cans on the shelf. But I read the can of Berryman and see if it was suitable for a diesel engine or not, and it specifically says on the Berryman can, do not use in a diesel engine. I've also heard people on the internet say that there's no difference between Berryman and Seafoam. Well, Seafoam specifically says use it in diesel or biodiesel engines, and Berryman specifically says do not use it in a diesel engine. So they are not the same. No way. So we got the 80 ounces of Seafoam and 40 gallons of diesel, and we'll head out tomorrow, and we'll be back in a week and a half or so, and I'll tell you my thoughts. Okay. I don't think I have a issue, but you know, I've never had the injectors clean. I've never had anything really done with this truck, so other than normal service. So here we go. We're going to give it a shot, and come back a couple weeks. I'll finish this video and tell you what I thought. Okay, see you in a bit. Well guys, we've now fast forwarded to Monday, June 26th, and we are back from our trip. Yeah, we spent 11 days on the road. Now, we weren't just like driving all day. We were going from dirt racetrack to dirt racetrack. We have covered Medford Speedway twice, Roseburg Speedway twice, Coos Bay Speedway twice, Willamette Speedway, Lebanon, that's kind of our home track. Cottage Grove Speedway, we were there. Up in Banks, Sunset Speedway, up at Grace Harbor, Washington. We've just been all over. It was a fantastic week and a half on the road. I logged somewhere, I wish I'd wrote the beginning mileage down, around 11 to 1200 miles on the truck. Truck did fantastic. Camper was great. I just unloaded the golf cart. The golf cart worked great. If you've watched my golf cart videos, you know what I started with there, and really turned it into something very, very nice. We enjoyed everything. Weather was great. It was awesome. But the answer to the question is, before I left, I put 5 cans of Seafoam in my truck. 7.3 Powerstroke. It's got 165,000 miles on it. It's a 2000 model Super Duty. Did it make any difference? What I was expecting for fuel mileage when I left was similar to mileage that I've got on this truck with the previous campers, and we've had more than I can count probably. So I was expecting to get as much as 11 miles to the gallon for fuel. You know, there's Oregon, especially Southern Oregon, is very hilly, so we had a lot of hills to climb. It was actually a lot of weight with the golf cart and trailer on behind, and the camper just loaded to the gills, and I had generator behind the seat and 20 more gallons of water and tools and things. So we were loaded. This thing is loaded. I haven't unloaded yet. I just got the golf cart off the trailer. So after the first day or 3 of driving, I didn't really notice any difference. But things started to change a little when I filled it up for the first time, at about 350 some miles on that first tank, and got 13 miles to the gallon. I'm like, that was unexpected. I kind of thought some Seafoam might make it, just run a little bit better and just being nice to it, because, the poor thing just sits all the time. In fact, I think 3,000 miles is all I've put on it as of today in 6 years. It was, the last service was due in 2017. I serviced it in 2020, so my sticker's still on the windshield. And I haven't just put many miles on it. So 13 miles a gallon, really? That was awesome. I was pretty stoked. And then I started noticing, while I was climbing hills and so forth, is a little smoother. I would say, yes, a little more power, but it had a growl to it. It had this, I'm gonna kick your butt growl to it, that I've never really sensed before. And I've had this truck like 15 years, so I was like, whoa, this thing is running better. It wants to go. It wants to motivate. So filled up 2 more times with the similar miles. The second tank was 13.2. And the last tank, once we got out of the hills, we were, up in the northern Oregon and Washington area, and the last tank was 13.62. 13.62 with all this weight on it. I mean, I've had cars that wouldn't get that kind of mileage with nothing in the trunk kind of deal. I'm very, very impressed with it. That's as good as it's ever got loaded and hauling. I've seen 18.5 miles a gallon empty on the freeway with cruise control on. But 13.5, we averaged, like 13.2, 13.25 miles per gallon for the entire trip. Was the Seafoam worth it? Yes, absolutely worth it. It was $45 worth of Seafoam in this thing, but I feel so good about the truck. The truck performed very, very well. It just didn't feel like it was working at all. The mileage was way beyond what I've ever got with this thing loaded, and all I've ever done with this truck is haul or tow with it. It just doesn't go down the road. It's not a daily driver. It's not a work vehicle. The only time I ever drove it without hauling or towing, I went to get a camper that I turned out not to get, and that's the tank I got 18.5 miles to the gallon on. Other than that, I've never driven it as a, you know, something to take on vacation empty rolling down the highway. It just never happens. It's always hauling or towing, so I know what kind of mileage to expect when I do that, and it's never gotten, you know, in the low 13. So thumbs up on the Seafoam. I've always been sold on it. You know, if you've watched my videos, that I've used it and other things, but super thumbs up. So glad I did it. Very happy, very proud of my old truck. I kept this truck in very good shape, you know, for when I retire. Here we are retired, and we don't really know, you know, what we're going to be doing in the future, but it involves this truck. Absolutely. You want to buy this truck? Nah, it's not for sale at any price. Got it? Got it. Guys, thanks for watching the videos. I appreciate it. Thumbs up on the way out the door if you wouldn't mind. Throw some comments in the comment section. I sit down every morning at breakfast and answer comments, and we'll see you in the morning in the comment section. Catch you next video.